Good morning, Wildcats. This past month, we've been working on our first ever investigative report, working closely with the forensic classes to solve the murder of our beloved English teacher, Mr. Giovanni. We've also been working on something new and very exciting, designing our own products and making commercials to showcase them. In addition, our graduating senior, Sydney Rell, comes back to reveal all the details of her internship at the White Plains cable TV station. Lastly, our one and only Mr. Schenker gives everyone here at Westlake the perfect summer send-off to move forward into the 2019-2020 school year.
Introducing the case and all the facts of the murder investigation of Mr. Giovanni are Alice Warford and Tyler Hawkins. They go a step further and introduce many of the teachers supposedly connected to the crime, asking pressing questions to try and discover the truth.
Welcome back to the W. I'm Alice Warford reporting live with breaking news. Beloved teacher at Westlake High School, Mr. Giovanni, has been found murdered in the basement at Westlake High School. The FBI has been continuously investigating his murder. So far at the crime scene, they've only found a bloody pen, teeth, and footprints. According to the autopsy, Mr. Giovanni died from losing too much blood. Tyler Hawkins and I investigated a step further, talking to some of Mr. Giovanni's co-workers and friends in order to establish who Mr. Giovanni really was. I'm here with Mr. McClintock, a close co-worker of Mr. Giovanni. Mr. McClintock, how did you feel when Mr. Giovanni was murdered?
Very sad. I mean, his classroom's the other side of the wall, so it was kind of a shock. I still feel like I see him walking the halls, like his spirit's still around. But it was a big shock.
Did you ever feel that Mr. Giovanni would end up like this?
No, I mean, big surprise. I mean, he's an English teacher, seen beloved by the community, so I think it's a tragic loss for all of Westlake.
Some other teachers have speculated that he participated in shady business. What do you think?
I've heard the rumors like everybody else, but I never saw that. Like I said, we were coworkers, so I would feel bad speculating on something that I don't really know about.
Okay, thank you for your time, Mr. McClintock.
You're welcome.
We're here with Westlake art teacher, Miss Morris. Miss Morris, what was your relationship with Mr. Giovanni?
Well, we spend a lot of time together, especially after school, and we text together a lot.
So after school, were you guys seeing each other, like socially?
No, but we saw each other after school. Like sometimes we would have dinner here, sometimes we would have like long text conversations or phone calls like on the weekend.
So you would say that you were very close with Mr. Giovanni?
Well, we were very close, but there was a reason that we were so close.
Can you tell me what that is?
Well, we did yearbook together, and that was a lot of work.
So you would say that you were heartbroken when you found out that he was murdered?
Beyond heartbroken. I mean, he was a Westlake icon.
A lot of teachers have kind of alluded to that he was involved in some sketchy business.
Oh, well, you know what? It's weird because when we would like have these like really long conversations and stuff like that was many years ago, and he wasn't sketchy. But recently, there's definitely been some like sketchier situations. I feel like he's been part of.
Any enemies you could say that triggered any of this?
Well, I know. For example, Thursday, Mr. Laturza definitely was having an argument with Mr. Giovanni. They were yelling something about a manuscript.
Manuscript. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.
I just miss him so much.
I'm so sorry. Mr. Giovanni, you are missed. I'm here reporting with Mr. Smith, a close friend of the deceased. Mr. Smith, tell me, what was your reaction to the news when you found out that Mr. Giovanni was murdered?
I was pretty shocked. He was a good close friend of mine. We would hang out once in a while, had some great times together, and then to hear this, it's just devastating.
Did you ever think that Mr. Giovanni would ever end up like this?
No, not really, although he was up to a few sketchy things recently. We had some discussions about it, but I thought he had figured it all out, and yeah, I'm a little surprised. This is quite shocking.
So, Mr. Smith, you mentioned that Mr. Giovanni was sketchy. Can you please elaborate on that?
Well, I didn't say he was sketchy. I said he might have been up to some sketchy things. I don't know. It just seemed like he was all of a sudden flush with money. I don't know where that was coming from. He makes a meager teacher's salary. So to suddenly have money to buy nice cars and things, I just asked him a few questions. Next thing you know, we're not really talking to each other.
The night before he was murdered, Mr. Iovanni was at an art show. Do you know anything about that?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
We'll be right back after this with more details on the case to follow.
And then Mike.
Are you like this guy, always forgetting to do his homework on time? Don't you wish that you could instantly copy and paste anything in seconds? Well, now you can. With the new Copy and Paste app, all it takes is 5 seconds to instantly replicate anything you want. All you have to do is take a picture of the thing you want to copy and watch as it magically appears on a clean sheet of paper. Call now and get the Copy and Paste app for only $19.99. That's right, $19.99.
James Stutz and Patrick Hickey continue the investigation with more interviews while also revealing many of the recent revelations uncovered by the Westlake FBI. Watch as they reveal more secrets and shocking facts of the case.
911, what's your emergency?
This is Nick DiPaolo, guidance counselor at Westlake High School. We need EMS and police on site immediately.
What's the nature of the emergency?
We have an unresponsive adult male found in the DARE office downstairs.
Is he still breathing?
There's blood everywhere. The walls, the floor, the ceiling. I've never seen this much blood. I think he's dead. I don't know. He's not moving.
What is the exact location in the building?
The individual is in the basement of the high school. I'll have someone meet you in the lobby.
Police are on the way.
This is Patrick Hickey, and welcome to the W. We just listened to the chilling sound of Westlake faculty member Nick DiPaolo calling the police the morning after the tragic death of beloved teacher Mr. Vincent Iovanni. The call was made the morning of Monday, May 13th, detailing the horrific scene that contained large amounts of blood, as well as different traces of evidence such as a bloody pen, footprints, and also teeth. This has led to an investigation to who could have murdered Mr. Vincent Iovanni in cold blood. 4 potential suspects have emerged as the major culprits. These suspects are Mr. Michael Laterza, English teacher, Miss Mary Newell and Miss Lauren Churchia, science teachers, and Mr. Brian McClintock, math teacher. Mr. McClintock was seen in the school the day after the murder with a bandage wrapped around an injured hand, which he refused to talk about. We now know that Mrs. Newell and Mrs. Churchia were with Mr. Iovanni at the art show just hours before his death. Ms. Churchia stated that everyone attending the art show had left separately and was home by 7:30, but when interviewing Mrs. Newell, she claimed that she had driven everyone home safely by around 11 or 12. These inconsistencies have led to the theory that Newell and Churchia know something regarding Iovanni. In addition, Churchia has told the press that Laterza asked for the master key to Iovanni's room, which she reluctantly gave to him. The FBI discovered that he had the same pens that were seen at the crime scene used to kill Iovanni. Here we are with Mr. DiPaolo to understand his point of view and his discovery. And we were wondering, why were you in the DARE office?
Well, I'm very good friends with Detective Valentino, and I was actually bringing her coffee that I bought that day, but she wasn't there.
Do you believe there are any potential suspects who could have caused this murder to Mr. Iovanni?
You mean someone who doesn't like Mr. Iovanni? Couldn't imagine that.
At the time of finding the body, was there anyone at the school that you know of?
Just the usuals. Mr. Schenker was here, Mr. Amon was here, Mr. McClintock was out running the track. That's about it.
Do you know if they had any potential conflict with Mr. Iovanni?
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you, Mr. DiPaolo.
Thank you so much.
Now we're here with FBI agent James Stutz regarding the case. So, James, what are some new news developments that you've made in this case?
Well, we have singled out our 4 main suspects, which include Mr. Chia, Miss Newell, Mr. Laterza, and Mr. McClintock. And there was many objects found in the DARE office that could have led us to these 4 suspects.
What are those specific objects that you have found in the DARE office that leads you to thinking these 4 suspects are really the real deal?
Well, there was a green pen found in the DARE office with Mr. Laterza's fingerprints on it, and there's also Mr. Iovanni's blood on that pen, which leads us to believe that Mr. Laterza is involved in this crime.
We have received some news about an art show. Can you explain what this art show was all about?
Okay, so the night of Mr. Iovanni's death, Miss Newell and Mr. Chia accompanied Mr. Iovanni on a trip to the art show. And Miss Mr. Chia stated that everyone left separately and was home by 7:30, and Ms. Newell stated that she drove everybody home because there was some drinking involved at the art show. There was some wine, and these inconsistencies have led us to suspecting that Miss Newell and Mr. Chia know something about Mr. Giovanni and can give us something related to the case.
Thank you for your time, James.
Oh, my pleasure.
And we'll keep you posted how this murder mystery unfolds. I'm Patrick Hickey, and this is the W.
When we come back, we'll discover the real secrets behind the murder case.
Help! 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 Help!
Are you tired of drowning?
Yeah.
Then try the Air Aquas.
Lastly, John McCarty and Joe Ragusa uncovered the final truth of the murder of Mr. Giovanni, connect all the details of the case. They even covered the live arrest and escape attempt of the guilty teacher that was responsible for the demise of Mr. Giovanni, and a press conference with FBI investigators Chris Alberti, James Stutz, and Alyssa Bange.
Hi, I'm John McCarty reporting for the W with an update on the murder of Westlake High School teacher Mr. Vincent Giovanni. He was found dead in the DARE office on Monday, May 13th at 6:30 a.m. by guidance counselor Nick DiPaolo, and he also made the 911 call. Dirt from Laterza's home, as well as a pen with Giovanni's blood, was found at the scene of the murder. This kind of pen can only be found in English teacher Miss Laterza's room. The FBI discovered that Laterza asked Giovanni for input on a manuscript, which Giovanni then stole from him, claiming as his own. The FBI uncovered a series of emails indicating that Laterza begged Giovanni to return the stolen manuscript, which he refused. In an agitated state, Laterza stabbed Giovanni with the pen of Westlake High School. The FBI obtained a warrant for the arrest of Miss Laterza on June 4th, and after intense interrogation, eventually arrested him. Here's Joe Ragusa from the W with FBI agents Christopher Alberti, James Stutz, and Alyssa Bange, who held a press conference on June 6th to discuss the details of the murder.
Here we have 3 detectives from Westlake High School talking about Giovanni's murder in the DARE room office. How did you figure out who murdered Giovanni?
Well, there was many suspects involved in the case involving Mr. Giovanni. However, there was certain pieces of evidence that led us directly to Mr. Laterza being the culprit. The device used to kill Mr. Giovanni, which was the green pen, there was a bowl of green pens in Mr. Laterza's room, and the pen also had his fingerprints on it.
What kinds of evidence did you collect that pointed to Laterza?
So, like James said, we had green pens that were on his desk that was used as the murder weapon, which led to his murder because there was fingerprints on the green pen that we found in the DARE office that had blood all over it and everything, which led to Mr. Laterza's fingerprints.
And they also had the soil samples that matched where Mr. Laterza was that day, and also phone records that showed multiple calls back and forth between them, and aggressive emails sent back and forth with each other.
There's also reports of them arguing over a manuscript, and it is believed that Mr. Laterza stole Mr. Giovanni's manuscript and attempted to use it as his own.
Why did Laterza murder Giovanni?
Like I said, Mr. Laterza had seen Mr. Giovanni's manuscript, and he tried to steal it off him and use it as his own to try to make profit off of it.
What was your case for arresting Laterza?
We interviewed other suspects, trying to get them to say if they heard anything about Mr. Laterza and how his interactions with Mr. Giovanni was, and see if they would say anything leading to helping us find out that Mr. Laterza murdered Mr. Giovanni.
What was the connection between Giovanni and Laterza?
Okay, so they were colleagues. They're both English teachers. They're pretty close. However, they've been fighting as of late, and it was probably over the manuscript.
Possibly. Is there anyone else tied to this murder?
Possibly. We have reason to believe Miss Newell might be involved. We recently discovered that her and Mr. Giovanni were running an illegal art selling business, and they were recently, leading up to the murder, they were arguing about money, and things got pretty heated between them. So and Miss Newell and Mr. Laterza are good friends, so we have reason to believe that they might be connected.
Breaking news update. A twist on the Iovani murder case. It has been discovered that Mary Newell, physics teacher at Westlake High School, was working with Iovani in the art forgery business. Newell secured forged copies of famous paintings that Iovani was selling, and they were splitting the profits 50-50. Newell got fed up with sharing profits, and she confronted Iovani about wanting a bigger share. Iovani refused, and they got into an argument Wednesday after school. Biology teacher Sky Smith overheard this argument and approached Newell on asking to be in the cut on the deal for return of his silence. She refused him, although not responsible for Iovani's death. She will be charged with art forgery this week. This has been John McCarty from the W. Here at Westlake, our hearts go out to Mr. Iovani and his family. May justice be served. Back to you in the studio.
Stay tuned. Sydney Rell's last piece for the W will be next up right after these messages.
Tired of boring tattoos? Well, just $114.99. You can get the JBR, the tattoo machine that smells. Right here we have one of our happy clients, Joseph Ragusa. So Joe, how do you feel about your experience?
Very good. I got an old tattoo and it doesn't smell like roses, so I was very mad. And then for my long lost mom, I wanted to get a tattoo for her, so whenever I smell her perfume, it makes me think of her. So when I got this tattoo and have her perfume imprinted in it, it made me feel special.
For just $114.99, you can get the JBR. Sydney Rell takes us along with her to the White Plains cable TV station and shares with us the behind the scenes of what it takes to work in the television industry.
Hi, I'm Sydney Rell. I love stories. I love listening to a great story. And through my amazing broadcast teacher, Miss Abate, I've now learned how to tell a great story. My internship was at White Plains Community Media Public Access Station. What that means is that anyone from the community can produce a broadcast or a show that will be aired. Getting to be a part of this team unlocked something in me, a passion not just for stories, but for the process in creating them. I've always heard about the passion for the process, but I never really appreciated this perspective until I became a part of a team. The process to create stories is complex. When a broadcast shows up on air, everything looks seamless, polished, and effortless. And if it's done right, the audience won't even notice. They won't notice the lights or the script. They won't pay attention to the camera angles, the editing, or the sound mix. They will just be engaged in the story. And thanks to this internship, I'm getting a sense of each of the roles needed to make a truly great production. I've learned that it takes all of the roles coming together in a perfect synergy to deliver a great story. I am moved by this process. Now, let's head over to White Plains Media Studio, and I'll give you the inside scoop. Here we are. In this very studio, I've learned all that goes into the production of a show, from operating the cameras, to setting up the lights and the audio, to how to direct a show. Not to mention, I've also learned some incredible post-production tricks. For example, I've always wanted to go to Italy, or float around in outer space. Or let's say I wanted to skip to the place that I'll be spending the next 4 years of my life at. Oh, did I bring us to the pool at the University of Tampa? Well, I meant the school, of course. Don't worry, guys. I promise to do my homework before I tan at the pool. Now, let's go to Sydney, who's going to give us a tour of the studio. Sydney, are you there? Hi, Sydney. Yes, I'm here at the entrance of White Plains Community Media, where I did my internship. So I'm going to take you guys on a tour. Let's get started. Now, this is the reception area where clients will come in to sit and wait for the show. This room has my boss, Mr. James Kenny. How was it having me as an intern?
It was great.
It was great. In this room is where all the magic happens. This board here is the sound board, where we can adjust the sound of each person's microphone, where it has a corresponding microphone in the studio. And this here is the lighting board, where we can adjust each individual light that's in the studio. We record onto 2 different hard drives so that if anything were to happen to the first one, we'd have a backup. Each show that comes in usually is about 27 minutes long, and we just click down on the clock, And in the studio, it counts down so each guest on the show can see how much time is left. Every camera has its own camera control unit, or CCU for short. Each camera having its own individual CCU allows us to adjust certain settings, such as the white balance, color correction, or other minor adjustments. Each individual show that comes in here has its own folder that contains video clips, pictures, and graphics. This here is the switcher. The switcher is the most vital because we can switch back and forth between each camera angle and which camera angle gets put in program. And we have our clips folder, our still folder, and our animation folder, which contains whether it be lower thirds, other pictures, openings and closings, and chroma key, which can put us in a different world wherever we want, as was demonstrated earlier. Now let's check out the studio. So, now we're on set. As you can see, we have the green screen here in the back. We have 3 cameras that shoot all different angles. Here's a teleprompter if you need to look at a script. And not to mention, we also have a monitor here if somebody needed to see what was going on as they were recording. And sorry that it's dark back here, but the lights are only for the stars. But here we have all different props anybody can use to set up the stage however they would please. Once a show is completed, it goes into post-production. We use Final Cut Pro to edit our programs. As you can see, here's the project you're currently watching in the making. We can use Final Cut Pro to edit the backgrounds, as you see when I went to space and when I went to the pool and Tampa. Not only can we adjust the background, but we can adjust the audio and we can adjust the color. And there you have it. I just want to say how much I enjoyed my experience here and that everything that I've learned here will help me so much moving forward in the next chapter of my life. And back to you in the studio. As you can see, I've had the most positive experience that I possibly could have. I would highly recommend any student who is interested in this field of study to take advantage of the opportunity that the White Plains Public Access Media Channel has to offer through the Senior Experience Program. I'm Sydney Rell, and this has been The W.
Last but not least, Tyler Hawkins with our principal, Mr. Shanker, who leaves us with a December send-off, getting nostalgic about this year and letting us know what we can expect from the next.
Good morning and welcome to the W. I'm Tyler Hawkins, here with Westlake High School's principal, Mr. Keith Shanker. Good morning.
Good morning, Tyler.
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
So, how would you say the 2018-19 school year went?
Fast.
Fast.
It was, I don't know whether it was the weather, whether it was just the flow of the year, but before I knew it, I mean, here we are. It's about 5-6 days left of school, and it's done. So, yeah, very, very fast.
Yeah. So, what are your plans for next year?
Well, we have a couple new programs that are starting, which I'm really excited about. We have several new courses that went into the schedule that we have incredible enrollment in our new STEAM program with engineering courses and our design for engineering courses. We have a new AP Principles course, AP Computer Science Principles, new coding class. We have an English 12H honors English class. So I'm excited to see some of those new programs run and what the students actually can do. And we'll continue to kind of work through the sequence of those courses over the next couple of years, planning out where they go from there.
Any wishes for the summer?
Yeah, I definitely, the students have definitely earned the rest and relaxation that comes with those 8 or 10 weeks in the summertime. For those that have sports, obviously you'll be back a little earlier. But definitely some well wishes for everyone to enjoy the summer. I'm hoping for good weather for everybody. And definitely want to give a shout out to the class of 2019. We've begun winding down our final award ceremonies and meetings and breakfasts, and with only a few events left leading up to graduation, it's going to be a very sad farewell to the class of 2019.
Well, thank you for a great year, and I hope you have a great summer.
Thank you, Tyler.
Tyler, Pat, come on in here. We're missing Joe and Alice and all of our seniors today, and we all know that they love doing this just as much as we did. If you're interested in this, please join Broadcast 1 next year. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. You guys got anything to say?
It's a fun year.
It was a great year. Be sure to come to this class next year. Join the fun.
a lot of fun. We got donuts today. It's awesome. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out every day on the big TV outside. We're on that right now. Pretty cool. So thank you.
I'm Tyler Hawkins.
I'm Patrick Hickey.
I'm John McCarty.
And I'm James Stutz.
And this has been the W. Wow. That's very good, guys. High fives.
Yeah.
Yes.
About to get the high five.
Nobody else gets high five.
Hi, I'm Thomas Rubino, and welcome to the W.
My name is Miguel Catarino, and this is a W.
Hi, I'm John McCarty, and this is the W.
Hi, I'm Patrick Hickey, reporting from the W.
Good afternoon, I'm Dean Kapika.
Animation's going, she's going to count you in.
Good afternoon, I'm Dean Kapika. Thank you for watching.
A little chilly, feels like 39. Then at 5 p.m. we get a little colder.
Hi, Dean Kapika reporting for the W here. Miguel here from the W. Welcome. So, the Westlake athletic season is doing great right now.
Joe Ragusa here reporting for the W. So today's weather report is it's going to be a little humid out, a little cloudy though, partly cloudy.
It's Ryan Donner here reporting for the W. Just wanted to welcome everybody back to school. We have clubs, sports, teachers, principals all coming back in for the school year.
Hi, John McCarty, and welcome back to the W. This week's big news story is homecoming, and this year on homecoming we play Bronxville. I'm predicting a huge victory for our football team. It's going to be great.
No, you don't want that. You don't want to hand that stuff in. So I think mechanical pencils or pencils are the best thing to do. Signing off, James.
Hi, Nick Velcher here, back of the W.
And he's going the wrong way.
Oh my God. 5, 4.
Oh, hi, good. Justin, you gotta go back up to the.
You know what you're gonna say.
Hi, I'm John McCarty.
And I'm Nick Belcher.
And this is the W. Fall sports are winding down at Westlake High School. Our team's varsity
I'm Nick Veltri.
And this is the W.
Right?
Whoa!
Again, 4, 3,
Okay, Justin.
2,
Oh, there we go.
take 2.
Wait, can I go to the bathroom real quick?
No. And this is the W. Fall sports are winding down at Westlake High School.
44, a little chilly,
Yeah,
feels
see?
like 39. Then at 5 p.m. we get a
Still
little
can't see
colder.
You're blocking the apple.
And I'm Alice Warford.
And he's going the wrong way.
We came to the Briarcliff Toy Shop to see what's the hottest gifts of 2018 and what you should get your kids for Christmas. Giraffe's my favorite animal, and I love giraffes. It's one of my favorite. This was one of my favorite toys when I was little, and I love it. This pen's actually the worst pen in the store. Tyler, she said it doesn't work usually, and you shouldn't buy it. It's a ripoff. My name is Roger.
Think. Too much pressure.
But last December, Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
That's true.
Quite the intense senior break. Tommy, what are you doing in college? Chapters. First rule in broadcast, never give me the mic. Now I have full control.
I'm okay. I broke the chair though.
Let me tell you something.
I took the chair. I took the chair. What do you think about the senior break?
True.
Yeah. Oh.
Sometimes it's better not to say anything.
I had like 4 great ideas for pranks. One of them, I was gonna rent a cow for the day and bring it upstairs. Cows can't walk downstairs, so there'd just be a cow upstairs until I brought it down the elevator at like 2:45. It's hilarious, right? Everybody said no. You wanna know why? Because they don't have free will. They don't have a single like living soul in their body that doesn't want to.
Hi, this is Tyler Hawkins, and you're watching the W. Hi, I'm Justin Avella, and you're watching the W.
Hi, I'm Sydney Rail reporting live from the W.
What? I went on too fast, and then I didn't see what the comment was.
It also says crime, not kiss.
Yeah.
Talk a little louder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm James Stutz.
Hello?
Mr. Shanker?
Oh, now it's not even.
Wait, I was gonna say Roll. No, yo, how do you like Stutz? James. How do you like James Stutz? That was a good one, right? All right. Now we bring you Sydney Rel on this college project. I'm gonna redo that. Rel. How hard is that? It's Rel. Is it Rel? Yeah, I was always saying Rel. All right, ready?
You guys have all my friends.
Now we bring you Sydney Rel on the college process.
You look like he's in pain.
We bring you Nick Veltri on NFL hitting rules. We do that, Nick. I do look in pain. We bring you to Nick Veltri on the NFL hitting rules. Hey, you're not gonna be able to pronounce this. Joaquin Phoenix. That's his name. Here's Tyler with Joaquin Phoenix. Yo, you want me to write it? No, yo, you have to redo the top one because I was like, alright, yo, go up. Should we do this whole thing? Go up one, James. Go up one, James. Dean, go to Dean again. Go up one, James. Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, right there. We're good here. It's right Joaquin Phoenix. Alright, yeah.
Stop touching it.
Hey. Should I button it or?
No, I don't have my button. Mine was, yo, look, if I button it, I'm sitting here.
John can't button it.
No, I can. But if I button it when I'm sitting here. Does it look better or does it look too tight?
Yeah. I don't think it had the same effect.
Life could be a dream. Shaboob. Oh, you know what we need next year? W mugs, the coffee mugs, so that it looks like the news where they're drinking coffee, but we're not. Silly studs.
Line stop and you look like it.
Silly studs. As sad as we are to say this, oh wait, I keep messing that up.
Come on, John. No pressure.
Stop. All right, you ready? I'm going, Mr. Monte. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. As sad as we are to say, this is our last broadcast. It's going the opposite way. I can't see the bottom of what's going on.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. Go other way. The other reindeer used to laugh laughing all in